All right, so of course we're going to start out by going to www.weebly.com, and then you can see all the cool behind the scenes action. So it wants me to create a website. I don't want to start there. I want to go to sign up. For me, I would go to login because I'm already logged in. That's wonderful. All right, so I want to log in with that Google thing we learned about. That's fantastic. Let's load that. All righty. So once again, I created one that says this is really just a test.weebly.com earlier. So you'll see when you first log in that they will have an option for you to go at their subdomain. Do not go in the first couple options because those are going to be the paid sites. You want to go to the bottom one that just says .weebly.com. You'll see what I mean when you get there. And of course, you want to go in here to edit website. And here is the behind the scenes magic that makes Weebly so powerful as a tool. It's going to ask you to pick a template, and a lot of the templates are like very, very overwhelming. They have all this stuff in there, like all the stuff you don't need. So the first thing you're probably going to spend your time doing is deleting the garbage off here. Now, to delete stuff, you hover your mouse over it, and you'll notice a little X in the top right-hand corner. You want to click on that X, and that will delete that. And you're going to go through your site, deleting until you get the template you want. Now, they give you a lot of different styles and show you some overviews, but it all comes with this kind of garbage. So the first couple minutes are just going to be spent just cleaning your site up. Now, there's only two real buttons you have to worry about. And these buttons up here are what I like to call tabs. There's a Build tab and a Pages tab. The Pages tab is going to show you all of your pages. Now remember, on your Poplet site, you created a bunch of pages. If you want to add a page, you hit the plus button and you can add a page. Now these are options for you. The only one you want to worry about for today's activity is standard pages. You add a standard page. You get to name it. I'm going to name it My Resources. That's a good name. All right. And I hit done. And now if you notice, it's going to add them up here to my More and Resources now available. If you had a different template, which started over here, it would start adding these to your navigation pane. You'll have more and more buttons as this goes. Eventually, you'll get to a More when you run into space. If I want to rearrange my navigation bar, I simply click on it and I drag it up. And now Resources now up here. And look where it moved. It moved right to the middle. So you simply move these around in the order you want them if you want them to change. Now, here's where it gets a little bit tricky. Let's say I wanted one of those drop-down menus, because now I have all of my cool classes, and now I want to offer different names. All I have to do is drag it in a little bit, and now it becomes a sub-page. So this one is below About. So if I go to the About page, look at that. Now the Resources now pops down. It's easy navigation. If I want to put it back, I simply drag it back, and then it goes back in the toolbar where it was. It's really that simple. Now, once you figure out the pages and navigation pane, that's awesome. You want to change the name of anything on there, double click on it. You can delete, change, add, whatever you want. So you select your pages that way. You go to the back arrow, you see all your pages. Let's go to the home page because that's where you're going to start out for most of your stuff. I don't like these words. I'm going to change these words. I can just double click highlight and change them to these words. That's fantastic because that's what I'm going to put there. I don't like this background. I can click on the background and then you can edit the background. You can replace the header layout, hit edit background. You can change the color. All right. Now, if you want to edit the header layout, you can, once again, delete it, replace it with something new, replace it with a photo, an image. Fantastic. There's all kinds of options for you there. All right. I don't care about any of that stuff. I want to put stuff in here. I don't like this stuff. I want to get rid of this stuff. I'm going to go to the X and delete this stuff. Cool. I don't like this stuff either. I'm going to float my mouse over it. I'm going to find the X. I'm going to delete that stuff. But now I want to put more stuff in. That's where the other tab up here comes into play. The Build tab. Remember I said Pages tab is important, but also the Build tab. If I go to the Build tab, there's all kinds of fun stuff. I can put a brand new title in here. Now, anybody see here, there's a blue line. That blue line is very important because that blue line tells you where it's going to be. Because I can put this tab between, I can put it above, I can put it below, and depending on where that blue line appears, that's where this title page will go. So again, this title, will go. Now, when I drop a title in, it'll appear like a title. It'll give me options. I'm going to put, this is my title. That's wonderful. If I want to put it in the middle, I can center it, I can make it bigger. I got to highlight it first. My apologies. Then you can make it bigger. And I can change the size of the font in order to make it look the way I want it to look. Now, if I want to put some text underneath it, I'm going to grab one of these text boxes. I'm going to put text box. All right, and once again, same operation. Click on it, and like here is some text. Then I can center that. And then that looks nice and classy now. Now, let's say I want to put some of those buttons I've been talking about, some of those images. I'm going to go over here, scroll down to image, grab this image, and I could drop an image here. I'm going to put it right below this text. But I don't just want one image, I want a couple images. So I'm going to put some next to each other. Now notice where I'm placing them. I'm looking for the blue line. I'll put this one in between these two. See the blue line up here? And I can drop it in there. Now I got 3 images. This looks like a web page now. I can click on these images, and I can upload an image from my computer. Hopefully I have some images. Oh, look, there's a Padlet logo. Look at that. I open that up, and boom, it becomes a Padlet. This image you can resize. You can change, if you click on it, you can change the spacing. If you want it to move down a little bit to the left, a little to the right to make it perfectly centered, exactly pretty, you can change all that stuff. On top of that, you can make this a live link. So if you go to link, you can now connect this to a couple things. You can make this go somewhere else on your page. I can connect this to, for example, my about page, my resources page. I can make this a link within my website, or if I go to website URL, I can make this connect to www.padlet.com. And as soon as I click off of it, that is now an active link. Anybody, I click on this, when the website's active, you're good to go. All right, so we learned some basic mechanics about the title, text, image. What else can you put in here? You can upload HD videos, like I will later for this actual recording. You can add in dividers to make your things look really pretty. I want to put a divider here to space things out. That looks cool. So now I have a divider keeping all this stuff separate. I can also add in things like, if I scroll down a little bit more, I want to show all the elements. I can add in embed codes for, let's say you want to bring over something like your sway in here. You can add in contact forms, surveys. Oh, I want to bring in a YouTube video. That's cool. So now what I can do is now I have this big template, and obviously I can make this different sizes if I put things next to it. And I double click on here, and I simply add in the URL. All right, so let me go back to here. And I just add the YouTube URL. I cut and paste it right in there, and anything on YouTube now goes right to my website. And you're just hyperlinking, so you're not violating any copyright infringement. I could put an audio. I can add a file in here. Let me put this file next to this. See what happens in my YouTube video. Automatically resizes it. So now there's the YouTube video here, and whatever I click and drop from my computer, I can put all my syllabi in here. I can put in classwork. I just upload the file from my computer, and it appears right here. All right, so once again, you can mess around with the different buttons in here, but those are the major tools that you will need to build out a pretty functional, teacher-friendly website. When I'm ready, and you can do this at any time really, you're going to hit the Publish button. Publish button means that you officially saved it. Nothing is saved until you publish it. If your computer crashes in the middle of that, I would have lost all that information. It only saves. But what it does, it gives you your final URL. If you go to, this is really just a test.weebly.com right now, you'll be able to see my homepage with the link I created to Padlet. You'll be able to click on the link. It will be live. Let's take a look what it really looks like on the other end. Look, there's these words. Look, there's a title. Hey, look, there's Padlet. Let's see what happens when I click on it. Oh, wow, it's live and it takes me where I need to go on Padlet. That is wonderful. So once again, it's really, really that simple. I just built a website. That's as easy as it is. Now, a very functionless website, but a website nonetheless.